if you feel what I'm feeling right now, bro, you feel this moment in a real way, bro. Like, you right there. You've put in all this work. It's happening before your very eyes. It's humbling for you to hear yourself, look at yourself, and know that what you just told yourself is true. And what I'm just reflecting back to you is true. Bro, you got this, man. You are a powerful human being. So I hate starting off lives because all the pre stuff you do in the beginning.
Yeah, all the little.
It feels weird.
Yeah, I feel that.
But what's up, man?
What's up?
Maybe you can come in a little bit closer.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling really good.
Good.
I'm excited to be. I'm excited to be back, yo. Like, this is. I look forward to these conversations. I look forward to this time. So, I'm feeling good, bro. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. It's good seeing people in the chat. Shout out Doran Noir, saying they love the page, love the content, love the energy. We feel, man. Y'all fuel us. This is seeing those words, motivates us. So we appreciate it, man. Welcome to Sunday School. My name is Carlton Mackey. For those that don't know, I'm the creator of Black Men Smile, and I'm joined by the homie
Jay. I'm not the creator of Black Men Smile, but you would think I was the way I be rolling deep with you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we this is Sunday School. Sunday School is an opportunity for us to do something we don't do often, and that is come from behind the post, come from behind the marketing, the community events, all the stuff that we do, and just carve out a space for us to engage with the community, to actually go live, and give some sense of what we're thinking and how we're thinking about where we are at any present moment, reflecting on the issues that are happening in society, and just allowing us to be able to hear from and connect with you all. So this is the first time we've done an IG Live or a Sunday School in a while. Sunday School is really, I'd say, an intersection of 3 points. Black Men Smile and what's happening in the ethos and in the environment of Black Men Smile. It centers faith and issues around spirituality with our resident chaplain, Jeremiah Griffin.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it's a reflection on contemporary events, what's happening, and how we're being shaped by it. So I wanna kind of jump in, bro.
We got Mario here. Shout out Mario.
Oh, word. What's up, Mario? So I think this is gonna be a good episode. I think we have some people in the audience that are already here that we're gonna pull up, that's gonna join us, Mario being one of them. And when Mario comes up, he's really gonna be reflecting on something that he's doing that's audacious. And I think it's gonna be a great opportunity to dovetail into Mario talking about the audacity of growth with what we're gonna close the show with, which is really us talking about being audacious in our vision, being audacious in the permission that we give ourselves to dream big.
Yeah.
But before that, 2 things I want to do. I want to acknowledge these microphones. We ain't gonna just sit here and act like we ain't gonna sit here and act like we're not gonna what we're not gonna do. What we're not gonna do is have this live and not acknowledge that we're on these mics. And we probably are we sounding juicy? On the thing?
Nah, it's y'all getting the regular audio.
Oh, okay.
The IG audio, but watch it back.
Okay.
You gonna get that.
Okay, they're gonna get that
crispy
work when they cut it up. So we're gonna acknowledge these mics. We're going to acknowledge the tea that we're drinking, and I was very, very intentional about these 2 mugs that we have these tea in. This is not paid promotion or advertisement. These are just people that we mess with heavy.
Yeah.
And we want to shout out. This first mug is we bought from Minty Bong Water by the name Terrell, who y'all know him. Y'all know the brother who makes his content around tea. Just a warm, no pun intended, presence.
Yeah.
And I just like this dude. And this other mug that Jeremiah has is from Portrait Coffee, a black-owned, Atlanta-based on the other side, Atlanta-based black-owned coffee shop. And we just want to shout those companies out, and just, I don't know. I was in the cabinet getting us some tea ready, and I was like, man, I know exactly what I want to do today. I want to show some love to some people. So let's jump in. I have a way that I want us to move forward. Some things I want us to talk about. We were at InvestFest this year, and we had a chance to make some real meaningful connections with a lot of people. We had a chance to really kind of do some activations. We have a couple signature activations that we do in the community and at events, and we had a chance to do one of them kind of in an intimate way at InvestFest with a couple people and with a lot of people. But it's centered around this notion of speaking life into oneself. It's an activation that the premise is the most important words you can say to someone else are the words you need to hear yourself. And so we approach different people in the InvestFest community and the InvestFest audience and ask them, what do you need to hear right now? What do you need to say to yourself? And we pointed the camera at them and asked them to look into the camera as if they were looking at the mirror and to say to themselves what they need to hear right now. But because they're looking at the camera, it seems like they're speaking to, the viewers. And we posted a video of what some of those things that people said. And I just we want to bring a couple of them up to talk about what they said, how that experience felt. But I just want to ask you, bro, like the significance of, what was the significance of being at InvestFest for you? What was the significance of seeing that energy and leveraging the energy that was already there to create this opportunity for people to have a really kind of intimate moment with themselves and to speak life into themselves and consequently into other people?
Yeah, I think InvestFest is such a powerful place because it's not just powerful leaders or thinkers that are speaking life into you, but it's like-minded people who are attending and creating an atmosphere to go along with that. And so when you start to kind of get into the roots of InvestFest or the people who are actually a part of it, and you start talking to those people and having those conversations, I that's where I got fed almost the most, because I started connecting with the people on a baseline level. And so when we were having those conversations, I was able to hear what they would speak to themselves or the things that they're saying to themselves. It started like you said, you're speaking to me. I'm getting fed and I'm getting poured into. It warmed me up to a mindset that opened me up to be okay, InvestFest is a place where you have a goal in mind. You're coming to InvestFest with a goal in mind, whether it's to build wealth, whether it's to build your business, whether it's to pour into other people, to build community, whether you're coming with intention. You don't just come to InvestFest because I heard it was cool. You come to InvestFest with intention. But when you're hearing people speak life into themselves, you're actually fueling what it takes to walk that out. That fed me, bro. That fed me in a different way.
Man, I'm thinking about, I'm looking in the chat, and I'm actually looking for.
We can bring him up while you're talking.
Yeah, let's bring him up.
Let's bring him in. There we go.
Yo, bro, what's up, man?
My brother, what's up?
Man, what's up, man?
Man, living a dream. What about you?
Man, we're doing the same, bro. And it's funny that you said living the dream, because you don't even realize
he done set it up.
You've already set up the next segment of the show, where we're gonna be talking about really allowing yourself to dream and how fear-inducing that can be sometimes. Allowing yourself to actually dream and to say out loud, acknowledging what it is that you want. The harder part might even be putting yourself in a position where you allow yourself to want it and to say it out loud and to not try to control it or limit it based on what you think is possible. But I'm getting ahead of myself. But thank you for setting that up. And thank you for just, man, being you. I want to, going back a little bit, you heard us talking about coming up to people at Invest Fest and our prompt of, the most important words you can give someone else are the words you need to hear yourself right now. And I walked up to you and, we had already connected in the past. We had been threatening to get together and hadn't happened. And I saw you and I was like, that's Justin. That's bro. I've been needing to put something in his hand. And I saw you, bro, and asked you the question. And it was amazing how you took a beat. You just took a second and you understood this
literally
silent, man.
a
It was
second.
almost like, this is what I need to hear. And with enthusiasm, you just began to speak life into yourself, which consequently, it was like everyone who saw that video was like you were talking directly to them. Man, tell us a little bit about that feeling, about what was it like to even be that ready? Were you already, is these things that you already say to yourself on a regular basis? Was it just, it was in your spirit, you just needed to get it out? Like what was it like for us to ask you that question, and if you just to launch into being able to pour into yourself that way?
100%. I would say, man, it was one of those things where I feel like that's where it starts. It starts with yourself, right? Like whatever it is that you actually want to do, it genuinely starts right here, right? So it's just like one of those things where, like, the more stuff that I necessarily accomplish, it's the more I kind of separate specifically from my normal peers that I'm normally around. So what does that mean? That means specifically when, I am accomplishing more things, and a lot of people that's necessarily are, just doing some great things all around. Sometimes you may not have that voice that you necessarily need to be like, yo, bro, you're doing a phenomenal job, right? It's like, sometimes it's like you work so hard every single day, 24/7, and it's just like, of course, people don't see the behind the scenes. I feel like all of us, when we get to, be able to do a lot of great things, a lot of people didn't see all of the work that we put in all before then. But it's just like one of those things where, as more success, more blessings, thankful, for everything that's necessarily being able to come in my life. I'm doing what I love, you know what I mean? And it's just like, that's the biggest thing, or that's the best prize anyone can receive. And that's being able to fulfill your purpose by doing something that you actually love to do. So it's just like being able to be that voice, specifically in my head, to be able to give positivity, because again, the energy that you give to yourself is what you're going to receive. So, I'm very big when it comes to like being very like positive, right? Being positive with anything. It could be the worst thing of all time, right? But be positive about it. It's really just come when it comes to the framework in terms of your outlook on things when it comes to anything that happens in your life. And generally, I feel like specifically everything that necessarily happens in my life is only shaping me into the person I'm going to become in the future. So it's just like, being able to really be positive and being able to have a good positive outlook in everything that, that goes on in life, but being able to be that positive voice that you need to be able to hear even when you do go through things in life. Because so many times we're probably around our parents, or that sibling or that cousin or that friend that sometimes going to be able to, they're going to feed negativity, right? And it's like, when things going wrong, they're in your ear talking about, man, like, why would someone X, Y, and Z do this? Or probably be like, this is the worst thing of all time. And then be able to speak negatively, right? They're speaking negatively. And really, when you're going through different stuff, you need to hear positivity, because that's the biggest way to get through negativity. You fight negativity with positivity, and that's the biggest thing, because you're going to attract more positivity. So it's just being able to be that voice, to be a positive voice when it comes to being able to acknowledge a lot of the stuff that I got to do with my phenomenal team, across the board with all of our partners. Is just like, we really pray for times like this. And it's, it's very big to be, grateful for everything that we have and everything that we're going to look. We woke up today. So it's just like, look, we already went through the first battle.
We already
let's
went through
keep
the
winning.
first. Exactly. I want to jump in here, bro, and I want to say that, like, I want to acknowledge a challenge for me personally. I want to make it personal. and kind of reflecting on what you were saying. And I have found in the past that I agree with everything you're saying, with one exception, and that is that I have historically found it easier to do everything that you're saying for other people or to other people, or to be that positive light that sees people in spaces and I want to speak life into them. Um, the trick or the genius or the catch or whatever word you want to use around the exercise that we invited you to do is really to flip that mirror on yourself and to speak that life into
Yeah.
yourself. I'm not, you may in fact just be further along at an earlier stage in your journey than I was.
Yeah.
But for me, the harder thing to do and the thing that I did less often was being able to willingly and as easily speak that life into myself. I was harder on myself. I was less forgiving of myself. My level of disappointment in myself for doing what I thought was stupid stuff. Um, my, so often I I grew up understanding the power of positivity, and I felt like I was fueled in return by being generous with my offering. That's something I haven't struggled with. But turning that back on me and just offering myself that same self-care and meaning it and not doing it through the lens of just or through the filter of the mechanics of, man, you're supposed to be. It was more like I would do it because I know I was supposed to, but inside I was beating. It was easier for me to beat myself up than it was for me to speak life into myself at a point in my life. And so um I want to ask you about if you could just say in response, one, does that resonate at all? And two, how did you overcome the challenge of being able to willingly and easily and with the same grace that you offer other people, be able to do that to yourself and actually believe it and allow yourself to love on yourself in that same way? If that resonates with you at all.
No, 100%. Now, I would say like we all definitely been there, right? It's like, nobody's life perfect. I feel like we're humans. It's one of those things where it's supposed to, you're supposed to go through these challenges, right? It's like being able to necessarily, figure out, okay, like, you're so hard on yourself because you put yourself on this time limit. You got to do this, you got to do that before this time, or you see the peers around you, some being very successful, some being able to extend their careers, and you're necessarily finding yourself doing a tool of comparison, right? And the biggest thing that how I've been able to do it is using the tool of comparison, but comparing my new self to my old one.
Ooh,
Mm.
okay.
So it's like specifically, I use the tool of comparison and I look at the mirror, right? And that's the biggest thing is just like when I compare where I am today in comparison to where I was, years ago, being able to understand what I was praying for before, the notes that I've been able to see I set for myself, the different goals that I set out to be able to accomplish, the people that I set out to work with, all of these different things that I prayed for, right? Years ago, and to be able to see certain things flourish now, or of course I didn't accomplish everything, right? But the thing is, I'm ahead than what I were yesterday, right? I got to accomplish more than what I set out before, right? And it's just being able, again, it goes back to your framework, right? The way you necessarily think, the way you process it. It's where I got to understand is like the richest thing in life is to be happy.
Mm.
It's not about having the most money in the world. It's not about all of these things. And it matters. Not saying it does not. I'm saying more so the biggest thing is your happiness. The first thing that matters is your mental health, taking care of yourself. I'll tell you one quick, testimony was, when I was at Georgia State University, being a, president of an organization,
I
right?
think when I met you, were you at Georgia State or had you already finished?
I believe I was at Georgia State.
Yeah,
I
okay.
was still at Georgia State.
Okay,
I was
okay.
on the tail end of Georgia State. So I was like in my senior year, I'm
Exactly.
finna get out, I'm finna get up out of there. So while I was there, I was also, with my modeling organization, I got to actually orchestrate specifically like health and wellness events. I think I mentioned this before, I don't remember, but when I actually got to, orchestrate these different things, I got to see the different battles everybody else is going through.
Mhm.
All right. And the biggest thing is being able to have that outlook that, dang, like this person is truly going through this. I could not even fathom going through that. Right. And it's just like, being able to necessarily understand that there are different people. If you look at other plates and you look at what's going on, people are actually struggling, right? They all have their own struggles, they all have their own battles. So I think the biggest thing is just like, being able to just, flip it on yourself, in terms of the tool of comparison of being thankful of everything that you've already received. And a lot of times we, use that comparison with other people and you just genuinely forget about, everything that you already currently have. Or I would even say you so hard on yourself that you completely be blinded from all of the great stuff that is around you.
Oh, that happens.
Yeah.
And
I 100% was guilty
Yeah.
of that. And bro, I want to ask you to do a favor. We want to bring someone else up. I want you to do two things for me. I want you to tell us who you are, what you do, and why you do it. And then I'd like for you to end, if you will, by taking this prompt from me. Bro, the most important things, or sometimes the most valuable thing, or advice you could give someone else, are the words you need to hear yourself. Today, this Sunday, what do you need to hear yourself? I want you to look at your camera and on your phone as if it's a mirror. And what do you need to hear today that someone else might need to hear as well?
Hi, my name is Justin Burgess Graham. I'm an award-winning international fashion model and CEO of GZTV. I genuinely do what I do because I love what I do, but ultimately it's just being able to, we're just big on inspiring, big on being able to bring all of the industries together and being able to give opportunities to other creatives. So being able to really and truly inspire other people that you can really do whatever you want in life. And of course, being able to really be able to be yourself and whatever it is that you necessarily do. So I say that's the biggest reason on why I do what I do. But the biggest thing I want to be able to hear right now is see, every time you put me on the spot,
It's all good. It's all good, man. Look at the camera out. I'm gonna do how I did you in the Vest Fest. Start with the word bro, as if you're talking to yourself, bro, and say to yourself, Justin, what you need to hear right now.
bro, this time I want to just kind of sit down and talk to you real quick. The biggest thing I want to go in and tell you is you can do this, right? It's like you're almost there. It's just really you're right there. It's like everything is right in front of you. Genuinely, you just have to keep going. Get out of your head. Shut up. Stop thinking so much. Just keep going. You're already there. You're so close. Just keep going. That's what I would probably say to myself right now.
Man, bro. Justin, let me tell you something.
Said
man.
that to me, bro.
Let me tell you something, bro. You're a hype man. You got energy out of, bro. But I'm gonna tell you something. You paused, and I think you genuinely took that prompt. And I don't think it was about the hype. I don't think it was about the script. I don't think it was about you conforming to like, man, I'm known for my energy. I gotta, bro. You looked at the camera and you said you talked directly to yourself. But the crazy thing is, which is the magic of this exercise, it looked like you were talking directly to me. Man, it was a sober moment, bro. You was like, bro, you started talking. It was like,
yeah,
everything in this whole
right?
IG live changed, bro.
Yeah.
And it was very different than the one from
Invest
Fest. And so I want to tell you this, man. I appreciate you for allowing yourself to be authentic, for allowing yourself
Yeah.
to give yourself permission to actually do all that shit that you just talked about. Because what you could have done was hyped us all up, gave us all this message, and then looked at yourself and followed the script, stayed on brand. You ain't do that, bro. And what I think is transformative about that is that I trust and believe in seeing you do that the message landed. It landed for me. But what I really think happened, looking at your face right now, feeling the energy that I feel as if you in this room, is that you heard it. I think you're hearing what I'm saying right now. And on the spiritual realm, bro, like, forget these cameras, man. If you feel what I'm feeling right now, bro, you feel this moment in a real way, bro. Like, you right there. You've put in all this work. It's happening before your very eyes. It's humbling for you to hear yourself, look at yourself, and know that what you just told yourself is true. And what I'm just reflecting back to you is true. Bro, you got this, man. You are a powerful human being. What you spoke into yourself and what you did for everyone in this live, including me, and what you're feeling right now is evidence that the transformation is happening, that is taking root, that is concretizing, that it is already beginning to manifest, not because of anything that I'm saying, but because of the permission that you gave yourself to say it. Bro, I salute you, King. I appreciate you, man. I thank you for taking this live in a whole different direction because you gave yourself permission to go somewhere and you invited us to go. And I give thanks for you, bro, man. Thank you, man.
And of course, thank you so much for having me, man.
Yes,
I
sir.
really, truthfully, I mean it because it's one of those things where, you know, as especially men, it's like we don't always get to hear it, right?
Sure.
And it's one of those things I feel like it's very important. And it's just like if you spend half of your life worrying about, you know, just that comparison tool with other people and worrying about that, I would say that time limit, that I would say that facade of a time limit that is not determined by you, right? It's determined by specifically, you know, the higher power, right? You know, regardless on whoever you believe in, right? But for me, I believe in God. And it's like one of those things where it's out of my control. You know, he's the one that's fully in control. And the biggest thing is, as long as we doing our part, he's gonna always do his. And even if we don't do our part, he's still gonna do his. So it's just like one of those things where you go into it, be thankful, be happy, you know, genuinely keep going, keep grinding. And of course, man, we're gonna keep chasing our dreams. Let's
Man,
go.
yes, sir. I appreciate it, bro.
Man,
I
I love that when he came on from the beginning, he he brightens up the rooms that he steps in. Like, I love the energy that he brings. He said something that triggered me when he said, you know, it's out of my control, but he's in control, and God's always gonna take care of his part. And man, I heard this quote, and they said, "You're only in charge for the possible parts. God's in charge of the impossible parts." And I feel like so much of the weight personally that I have carried in life, or the blocks that I've carried for whether it's pursuing dreams or whether it's even allowing myself to dream, is because I'm so focused on the impossible parts, and I'm not focused enough on the possible parts. Just speaking into myself, just speaking life into a situation, just allowing myself, like you said, to dream or to write out the things that I'm chasing, or to the possible parts. I'm so focused on what feels impossible, or the things I can't control, that I'm not even allowing myself to be present enough to see what's possible right now. And so when he said that, it just like, it put me in a place like, man, like, I think if there would be we would be more joyful, we would be more happy, and we would be more present if we took the pressure off ourselves.
Man, I want to say three things. One is related to what you just said, and then two things related to the experience we just had with Justin. The first is that, you know, you say you focus on the impossible parts versus what's possible.
Mhm.
One of the things I think we're going to go into in a second after we bring Mario up is the challenge of allowing ourselves to even dream. The challenge we have of even allowing ourselves to dream because of what seems impossible. We won't even allow ourselves to think about it. So just briefly, I just want to say, you have the permission to not worry about the possibility of it happening. That's why it's called a dream. Temporarily, don't think about whether it can happen or not. Just allow yourself to even rest in, just allow yourself to even give yourself the permission to even dream.
Yeah.
Impossibility, or the perception of what is impossible, often impedes our ability to even dream about that thing. Because the dream, it'll be forming. It's like something that's like a picture that's slowly coloring in, and then your brain will come in and say that ain't even possible.
Right.
And then it's like erasing that picture.
Yeah.
And then you'll start drawing you'll start drawing like the things that you think are possible.
Yeah.
So sometimes I think it's the opposite. It's not just that you're focusing on the impossible. Hell, we don't allow ourselves to focus on the impossible because we think it's impossible. So we don't even allow ourselves to dream about it. We short circuit the dreaming because we're killing it because we're like, that ain't even possible. So I ain't even gonna go there. And we're gonna talk about that in a second. Justin, 2 things that he said that I want us to reflect on. One was offering us a new way of thinking about comparison.
Yeah, that was
and
good.
saying comparing our new self to our old self, not ourself to someone else. So I'm just leaving it right there. He said it best.
Yeah.
The third thing
Let that breathe.
is, man, let me tell you something, bro. I'm still feeling it. Justin came on how Justin does. A pure energy ball, a pure room transformer. And when it was over, he transformed the room in a way that was totally different.
Yeah.
Man, that brother said, forget all that. And he actually said the words to himself. And the words weren't about pretending that he was already there.
Yeah.
Man, you get on live. We ain't even finna talk about what we need to do because of what we're still. How you're so close. That's to say that you're not there yet. This brother said, "I'm willing to say that because I need to hear."
Because I need to
I
hear
could say I could say what I think they want me to say. I could say what they need to hear. I could say, but he was like, "No, I'm actually gonna say and speak the truth to myself because this is what I actually need to hear right now." And bro, giving himself permission to actually do that was sobering. It was humbling, and it was transforming. And bro, if you was on that live just now, you felt that.
You felt that.
So, man, just thank you again. I want to bring up someone to Mario. If you there, bro, we'd love to pull you up.
But while we're waiting for him, to touch on even what you said earlier is
my guy.
Is I think also more of the perspective that I was coming from too is the impossibility being the things we can't control. Like there are things that I think we need to break past the barriers of what is possible in our minds and in our hearts of belief. But I also think that there are things that are impossible for us to control that we tend to sit in the situation or sit in the place of feeling like we gonna try to control it or try and figure out things that we have no ability to in our current place either change or fix. And so what is possible right now is the place that has rooted me in a presence that has allowed me to actually move and free myself to think and dream of the next thing. Because I've personally have gone through so many crazy things this year that you're aware of some of the things, and those things, like when life hits in such a way, you can actually it finds a way of or it can find a way to close you off to dreaming, or close you off to even being able to see that there's something beyond this, because you're trying to control life. You're trying to control what's coming at you, versus just being able to continue to move by, like he said, practicing gratitude, by centering yourself with what you can do. And so I think that was another part that was really mainly where I was coming from, is like focusing on what we can do, the power that we do have, and even the power to dream is a way that you fight that, the outside of the things that are trying to challenge you.
And to do that, you got to have some tenacity and some audacity. And we got a brother who just joined us on live who knows a little bit about being audacious.
Yeah.
An audacious brother.
Peep the shirt. Peep the shirt.
An audacious brother who believes in growth, who speaks life, and who walks in his power. Brother Mario, man, appreciate you for joining us. How you doing?
Thank you for having me, gentlemen. How y'all
Yes,
doing?
sir. Yes, sir.
I say it like it's the first time I'm seeing you today, but
Yeah, but it's not.
yeah,
But it's
today.
not. God had it another way.
Listen.
And actually, it was interesting talking about seeing. I saw you before you saw me. And probably, did you see my text before
I saw
you?
you. Yeah, I saw
Oh, you probably was like, man, hold
and
on.
I kept doing the pen.
Yeah. Hold on. This
it.
text is so random. I know that there's no way you sent me this unless it's very specifically that you're looking at me right now.
But what made it funny is, so I hit it with the panoramic, and I make it halfway to the right, and right when I'm about to turn my head left, there was just a little bit of a brim of a hat in my purview. And I said, jackpot, got him.
Yeah.
Boom, did you turn out to it?
The funny thing about that is you had the same experience I had, because I was like, ain't no other light-skinned brother that tall and got his hair up like that, that I know,
With your bun.
except for Mario.
Word up. What's going on, gentlemen? How y'all doing? Yo,
Man,
shout out to the young man that was just on, speaking that life. One of the things that I really appreciate, and from you, Carlton, like I think you could really attest to this, is I find myself at this age in which I'm a liaison, in which we got the young brothers that are coming up still in their 20s and 30s, that they have the energy, they have the idealism, they have all of this extreme confidence. And then we have access to the resources from all of our OGs. But for some reason, there's typically a disconnect between those that are a little bit older than us, and or the gatekeepers of resources and whatnot, and the young brothers. So I always find myself playing like a matchmaker, playing connect the dots with the resources I got.
And that's an interesting position to be in, because it's like you want to, for me anyway, there was a time when it was like I wanted to be able to relate, and I wanted to be able to add value and find a way of connecting and wanting to be a resource. And I talked about to Justin earlier, and then there's this moment where you kind of accept that when the brothers that you want to make that connection to will be a bridge, whenever they want to seek the knowledge, or whenever you have the right opportunity that is natural for you just to do it, you do it, and it feels so meaningful. And that's how it was, both in this exchange we had on live and with just how I met Justin. I mean, this was a young dude in college, and years went by before we had another meaningful exchange. But what you just saw, what you just witnessed us do in the exchange we just had, and how things progress, sometimes it's like you want to be that bridge, and then God finds a way for you to, for the timing, the resources that you offer, and the need in the other person. As long as you want to be an open vessel, it's that opportunity, and it's like it just pours, and you're able to do that.
I feel like every exchange is meaningful, whether it's an intimate, in-depth conversation, or friendly exchange. Another thing that I really like how you were framing this is because a lot of times, especially with the younger brothers, they are ready to jump in feet first, right? But they are not ready, and they don't even know they're not ready yet.
Mm.
So what I do love is sometimes the definition of meaningful could be I was able to make that connection for them when their preparation was there, and now we're looking at the definition of luck with preparation meeting
Yep,
opportunity.
yep, 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 yep.
A lot of times we don't see that. And honestly, like I know we kept talking about the audacity, like
Yeah.
brother, that's exactly what this conference is about. I know y'all were there last year,
Mhm.
pouring into everybody, getting your cup filled as well, and you saw the camaraderie. My biggest thing this year was I found myself in a lot of rooms that, and I don't want to say the term gate kept, but I find myself in rooms that a lot of people that look like us just don't have regular access to.
Mhm.
You know, even those hotbeds for innovation, such as the Gathering Spot or Rice, there typically is a paywall in order to participate in meaningful dialogue there. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm.
Or sitting with the PM of Lockheed. You know, most people don't know, but they think that I'm just like a really good poet, which I appreciate, but I'm actually a tech guy.
Bro, slick. Not to, bro. I ain't even know all that, bro. So many layers. I knew you. So,
I was today years old.
I knew you. And here's the crazy thing. I'm gonna just say it like this. I knew you one dimensionally. But what's crazy is your one dimension was so multi-dimensional. You ain't have to be nothing else. I was like, bro, you could just be that, and that was way more than enough. I'm finding out these other things. I'm like, yo, what?
You know, and I think like I remember one of my OGs, Charlie Palmer.
Oh.
It's like, Mario, you're doing a lot. Like, I need you to help me. Like, when I try to pitch you in these rooms, what do I say? And I told him, I said, listen, brother, there is no definition for my disposition. I'm sorry. Like, I can't make myself smaller for people to digest me. That's not authentic to who I am.
Mm-hmm.
So if we want to talk about cloud engineering and designing, you know, architecture for Medicaid services and the services that provide 40 million Americans healthcare, we could do that. If y'all want to talk to me about how do you write a book, a memoir, we could talk about that. You want to talk to me about how do you invest in real estate, we could do that. If you want to talk about nonprofit world, we could do all of that. And I want to get back to what I was saying, like, and I think that gives the framework of all the locations where I find myself at. And I see myself here, and I know that the brother I was just talking to at Undugu, or I might have bumped into on a young boy that I told bumped into on the street, is just like, oh, like matter of fact, it's so crazy, brothers. Like I want to tie it all together in a nice bow and not let my ADHD take control. So the purpose of Audacity of Growth is to throw out all of the red tape,
Yeah.
and give brothers direct access to all of the resources they need. What resources am I talking about? I'm talking about you're not going to be right if your head ain't right. So let's bring those mental health resources. You're not going to be right if your spirit ain't right. So we have leaders in the you know, I don't want to say religion. I would just say in spiritual space.
There you go.
You want to talk about brothers in that are dealing with things as fathers. We have a unique perspective of being a parent as men. We can't. There's a lot of women's organizations. There's not as many men's organizations, and this is why I love Black Men Smile. I love Undugu. I love the Black Man Lab. I love the Dad Gang, which is also another one of our partners. So this year's conference is a 2-day multi-hyphenated event. You know what I mean? Saturday, we're going to have the actual conference. That's where we bring all the brothers and the resources. So if you need jobs, come through. If you're a veteran and you're wrestling with PTSD, come through. If you're fresh home from jail and you need a healthy circle, come through. If you're a college student and you're looking to go to that next step, come through. These are all of the people that I'm targeting. Everybody. If you a black man, you've already paid your dues. You don't gotta pay a admission fee for this one.
Mm.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Okay.
So, short anecdote. Yesterday, me and the missus, she's moving into her new event space. So all day from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., we're moving stuff, getting things right. We stop at Holiday Bar at the Interlock off of Howard Mill.
Okay.
This dude, I felt like was ice grilling me.
Mm-hmm.
So I look at him for a little bit and I'm like, damn, I wish I had a flyer to drop on him, because that's my way of disarming people that want to ice grill me now. Like, all right, you got ice grill me, but actually be my brother. How you like that? So I'm talking to the missus, and then she went to go do her thing while we waiting for our chopped cheeses. Shout out to the Brooklyn Bodega Association. They got chopped cheeses over here now. And this young boy, the dude that I was ice grilling, he walks up to me and he goes, I had to say something. I saw you and your wife in 2021 in Miami when I was homeless. And I remember thinking, wow, what a well put together couple and how they came through. Then he saw me again at a Grant Cardone speak off, in which my wife just got me that for my birthday. And I go up there, and off the top, I gave a speech and won some contest or whatever.
Light work.
So that's the second time he saw me. And then the third was yesterday. So he was like, I felt like it was some sort of divine intervention. I had to say something. That's the epitome of why I'm doing the audacity of growth, because we've been miseducated so long to think that even a look is a challenge to our fragile ego and masculinity, that I'm over here. If I was still on my, 1998, yo, what you looking at, God? But instead, we humble ourselves and realize I'm not your enemy. I'm really your brother. So when he approached me with even humility to admit his circumstance on that first one, I was automatically disarmed.
Bro, no, let me jump in here real quick. I love that you said it. I'm glad that you used that word, because I was gonna come back and say it. I was gonna make it explicit, but you did. You were talking about plotting on a way to have a flyer as a way or something to disarm him. In fact, you had your armor up. You were guarded, and the weapon that seemed like he was using against you actually was turned in to be what you needed to be disarmed. And why that's so dope is, one, is poetic. I think you can appreciate that. And two is, you were willing to say and admit on this live that it was you who were on the receiving end of that lesson and how valuable it was. Like, bro, that was I didn't know where you was going with that story, but that was so powerful, bro.
One, I got to get this shirt again because, when you wear a white shirt too much, you get yellowish.
Yeah,
so I got to get a new one of these.
That mean you've been working out in it.
I wear this because I tell people a lot of time, they're like, oh, yeah, you the brothers with feelings. Y'all be out here doing the things in the community, da-da-da. I'm like, I'm healing every day, bro. There's no such thing as healed. It doesn't exist. A man is only as great as his discipline. And as long as you continue to invest and discipline yourself into this healing process, that's the closest you're going to get to that divine understanding that they were talking about today in church.
Mm-hmm.
Operating off of impulse, ego, fragility, all of these other things doesn't push the culture forward. So I wear this shirt to say I'm healing. I'm not better than nobody. Just because I throw the conference doesn't mean I understand everything that's being presented at the conference. I just know the resources that I speak with that I would like to bring to the community. Bro, and to your point, to you, I want to give y'all flowers, both of y'all, because an OG told me one time, if service is beneath you, leadership is beyond. And I watched as you brothers have served the community every single whenever I show up, I know that there's gonna be certain people that's gonna be not far off or walking right beside me. And it's definitely y'all. And I'm trying to find even more humility in myself to not just acknowledge y'all and give y'all flowers, but hopefully one day I could see the leadership in y'all that I can see leadership in myself that I see in y'all.
Man, give thanks, bro. It's an honor to walk alongside you, man. And thank you for the work that you're doing. Thank you for inviting us to be a part of it along this super group of humans that you're assembling, man. I'd like for you
like
just
the Black Avengers.
there you go.
Yeah.
As we're transitioning off, man, I want you to just I want to give you an opportunity to just we were talking about it this whole time, but just to explicitly say who you are, what you represent, this conference that you're talking about, where it is, and how they can join. Just as plain as you can.
Let me throw the bullet points. My name is Mario Reyes. I am president of Undugu, a safe space for Black men to have authentic conversations, the conversations that the world told you were less than a man for having.
You don't even realize the reach, the impact. Thank you for this movement. Thank you for helping us take it across the globe. We're gonna be right there with you. Appreciate you, man. Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, bro.
All right, peace. Man,
Bro.
Jay.
Yeah. He said a lot, and I'm not even gonna act like I'm able to speak to
You don't even have
half
to. He
of it.
said it.
I'm just
Yeah.
gonna say thank you.
Yes, sir.
I think some of the things resonated with me personally on a different level, but I also just think anytime you can see, and this I don't say this to you as much because we here, but anytime you see an OG, but like show so much humility and authenticity in the humility, like it's different. It's beautiful to see humility, but it's another level of humility to see humility, and you know that is authentic to their everyday and how they show up. And so when you see that, like it does something to it disarms others, but it also empowers me. That makes you feel safe to even be like whatever phase I'm at. Can you do that as well? Like in at your core, like humility and vulnerability and showing where you're at and who you are, and it allows me to have grace for myself and to just be myself in a place where I may feel intimidated because of what I see you as, or what I see you doing, or what I see in you that is inspiring to me and I would love to implement or get to. But when you guys show up humble, it makes it safe for me to just exist in the same place and not take on this it gives me the audacity for growth.
And man, humility can show up in different ways. It doesn't have to mean with your head bowed and kind of this meek persona. I think that I want to enter into the room this idea of I haven't workshopped this before, but
keep going. I'm listening.
But I'm thinking about humility in the way that you're using it right now as a way to the willingness to show up fully as yourself. I want to compare. I want to bring into the room humility and vulnerability, and even to show up big is a way of being vulnerable, because it means you're taking the risk to show up as who you are.
100%.
Most people that I know that have a powerful presence, they're often always challenged because of it. Because when you show up fully as yourself, two things happen. You give people permission, and it functions as an invitation for them to show up fully as themselves because you just showed them what it looked like.
Yeah.
Or you challenge their insecurity, and it makes them want to attack your confidence or yourself so that they can bring you to their level so that they don't have to feel inferior not because they're lower than you, but because they haven't given themselves permission to be fully themselves. One of the two things is going to happen. So I think that brothers like Mario showing up wherever he is fully as himself. And this is a 6 foot plus. So on some level, he can't be but so he can't be but so meek. Anyway, and I think as a result, it challenges people.
Yeah.
So giving himself grace to even show up as that dude, feeling that, knowing that it is either going to do one of those two things, and probably he faces, probably so much so that the immediate perception, because it happens so many times, is that they coming at me how they always do. They look at they ice grilling and and
facts.
But here's the other humility that I want to workshop right now. I hadn't thrown these definitions out ever, but the humility in that moment to be willing to say and accept that in this moment is something different, and to have the graciousness to welcome that. And to receive that, and to move forward with that new knowledge, and make room for that as well, bro. That's a challenge for powerful people. That's a challenge for people who walk in confidence and fullness of who they are.
Yeah,
and it's a challenge for people who do not. Either way, I think that it requires a certain level. It requires a certain level of audacity to show up as your full self. And to be vulnerable enough when you're walking in a room and your cup is full, it requires a certain kind of courage.
Yeah.
And when you're walking in a room and you're feeling half empty, to show up and still give yourself permission to be there. So, bro, we over an hour.
Yeah.
But based on how you feeling, based on where you are, I want to pause, reset. What do you want to not leave inside of you? Is there something inside of you that you don't want to get off of this live without getting out?
I'm good. I mean, something might come after this.
For sure.
But nah,
so we're going to bring up
I'm
our
cool.
last guest, bro. I hope you're still there.
I think he's still here. And if not,
man, there's so many people I saw in the chat, bro, that I got so
here.
much love and respect for that I was just surprised to see pop in.
Yeah.
My guy.
You.
Wealth mentor. Motivational speaker, community advocate, Chicago's very own, Southside's finest, smile god, authenticity champion, my brother, Mr. Griffin.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Man, what's up, bro?
Yep.
Yeah, not much, man. Just enjoying the room, enjoying the brotherly love that y'all are spreading. Every time I see y'all, I feel nothing but authentic love and support as far as all of our dreams to be successful, to make a change in our communities, bro. And never wavers, man. I appreciate y'all and I love y'all. I say that with all confidence.
Man, give thanks. Love you too, bro.
Love you, bro.
Man, so speak of, every time you see us, it's always real. The last time we saw each other was not that long ago.
And that wasn't even planned.
No, that's what I'm saying. So walk us back, man. We're gonna wrap after we talk to you. We're gonna try to keep it tight. But so we saw you in Atlanta, Georgia. You're not from Atlanta, Georgia, but you were in Atlanta, Georgia for an event called Invest Fest. You walk around a corner and then you see somebody doing like this, bro. So you ran into us. It was a love fest. We turned up in the middle of the floor, and then I shortly after, bro, we reconnected and I gave you the same prompt that I gave Justin, and it's on camera. We posted it. I want you to take us back to that moment, man. And what did it feel like for us to hold that camera in front of you, and for you to just, in a similar way to what Justin just did, just look at yourself and offer yourself a message that you needed to hear right now, man. What was that message, and what did that feel like to be able to just to look at yourself and yeah.
I don't want to shift too much of what I know you've got, but I kind of want to pivot if we can. And I actually I want you to share the message that you or say what that message was. But I'm actually curious on what that moment looked like after for you. taking that time, because like we said, when what you just said is when Justin said what he said earlier on the live, you could feel like it landed. And I genuinely actually felt the same way when we were recording with you, at InvestFest. What you were saying, I genuinely felt like, okay, he's talking to himself
For real.
and like for real. And I'm curious on what that whether that day, whether that week, or whether now just thinking back, what did you say and what did that do for you or unlock for you, or what was that experience for you after, kind of breaking that barrier and speaking to yourself?
So essentially, I said, be okay with not being seen yet, because I spent a lot of my time trying to chase and have the external world, social media, just people acknowledge or see me, right? And I wasn't, up until recently, redefining and very confident in where I stood in myself and what I was doing, and that it was serving and that it was working. Um, yes, you could call it I was building a brand, but externally, I really was trying to get people like, no, man, I'm doing all this work. I'm helping people. I'm a mentor. Bro, I know how to make $1,000 a day, and I'm trying to get people to accept that I want to serve the world and that I'm serving the world. And in that moment, and throughout this year, it was like, bro, you are that. You've done that. You don't need all the extra lights and glamours, the 15 minutes of fame to validate the work that you're doing. Really accept that and keep going. Even just to pivot, just like you said a little bit, what I would have said to myself today was, bro, get on the bike. Like, get on the bike and ride the bike. Don't worry about falling. It's going to happen. Don't worry about how many times you need to try, but get on the bike. And this time, young man, when you get on that bike, you're gonna go all the way. You're gonna go that mile. You're gonna get your dreams. You're gonna get your sex. So that's where I am then and now.
Bro, it actually it felt like that when you gave that bike analogy. I don't know if you just pulled that one out, but it was almost like I was gonna prompt you at the end to look back at the camera when it was over and give yourself that message that you needed to hear. But it
But
felt
you did
almost
it.
like just then that was it in many ways. It was like, don't worry about falling. But here's the other thing that you said I think was important is acknowledging that you're going to. You basically like you're going to. But accepting that as part of the journey and that as that's a prerequisite. You got to get X amount of falls out before you can ride. So you're counting backwards. It's like 10, 9. It's not 1, 2. You're not counting up your falls. You're counting them down because after a while that's gonna be your last one, and you're gonna learn how to ride. You might have some other accidents, but it's like, bro, that was
Dang, you counting down. It's crazy.
give yourself permission to fall, because ultimately you're gonna ride. And I appreciate you for having that perspective, for offering that in this space, for offering that to yourself. Same thing I told Justin, and for just having the audacity to pursue your dream and to do it out loud, even before you ultimately achieve it. That's the crazy part. That's what I didn't have the words to say. I said what I said whenever I saw you, but I think what you're reminding me of is that's a new kind of courage. It's like, I haven't fully arrived, but I'm willing to stand on what I do have and the gifts and the assets that I do have, and present myself as worthy and offer up the knowledge that I have at this place, even before I fully get to where I know I'm gonna go. Bro, that's
Man, bro, that's people asked me recently, right? Like, even when I was there, it was like, bro, how did you do X, Y, Z? Like, when they see me, and I'm gonna put out some literature for them, but I get this question a lot. It's like, bro, how did you get um and connected with Troy Rashad? Get on Blackout? How did you meet Wallow? How did you do X, Y, and Z? And I simply tell them, maybe confident and believe. I was like, bro, I tried. I had the courage to try. to go out there and say, no, I'm valuable in this space. I'm valuable to myself, and I believe that I deserve to have this opportunity.
Man, bro, today's a different day. You've had different wins. You probably had different challenges. The best advice you can give someone else are the words you need to hear yourself. Bro, what words do you need to hear right now that we all get a chance to hear and take lesson and value from? That's how we want to close out with you, bro.
Bro, you have done so much in this world. You've done so much for other people, and you may not get a thank you today. You may not get a thank you tomorrow, but understand that even if it's me, I'm telling you thank you because you've changed my life, your life, our life, because you got up and tried. Because you got up and you didn't say, I'm gonna stay in the neighborhood. I'm going to not try to change my mother's life. Like you got up and tried, and I appreciate that because I don't think I would be where I am today if you didn't try.
Bro,
Dang, bro.
I
Bro,
I don't
bro,
think
this,
hold
bro.
on, bro. I don't taking the time to thank yourself, bro, is a powerful thing that you just did because like that it's funny because the theme I told you I probably have something later. The theme that has been like stirring in my spirit this whole time, just subtly, but I haven't felt like the time to say it, is the Bible literally says, love your neighbor as yourself. And so the way we can only pour out as much as we poured into ourselves. And so you taking the time to thank you, like you taking the time to acknowledge you take, like even the Bible is talking about how you got to start at home base first. And bro, the fact that you just literally not just did it, but you did it here in front of however many people have been on this live in front of us is a vulnerable but brave act to do. And then for you to show a representation for others to see what we should be doing is acknowledging to myself, bro, you've done well for me. Like our bro AC was talking about, man, sometimes you gotta start where you can start at. He's like, we wanted to get our mom a mansion and do all these things. He's like, man, take her out to dinner. Ooh. How about like you be so focused on reaching the biggest achievement that you forget to start here. And like we be thinking about all the things that we're building towards, that we forget you didn't have to do that. And now I'm talking to you. You didn't have to do that. You could have stayed where you were. You could have done what was comfortable. You could have done something that felt easier. But you tried, and you didn't just try. You succeeded. You're winning now. So, bro, thank you. Like you just thanked yourself, I'm going to thank you too. Because what also you just did is by thanking yourself, you just opened the door for other people to be grateful for you. Like, I'm grateful for you because you thanked you. What? I'm grateful because you grateful to you? Bro, that's powerful that you did that, bro.
And thank you. And I want to shout out your album, bro. Like it's powerful, bro. I want you to, because I don't think you do that for yourselves. Like your layered, no a layered sound, my boy. Like I went through your album, I was like, all right, he got one for the club, he got one that I can take. Chicago people gonna know that's like a drive down Lake Shore when them late night drives, and then you have like this pop concert. So, bro, your album is dope.
Bro, thank you, bro. I appreciate that too, man.
He needed, man. Thank you, bro. Thank you for pouring into him. Man, we crossing that magic time, and appreciate you, bro, for hopping on. Thank you for everything. He said it all.
Yeah.
We good. Thanks. We're gonna see you soon, man.
All right, my boy.
All right, bro. Man, this been Sunday school. This
It's
might have been
Sunday
church. I
school.
don't know.
Look, yeah, for real. This,
So I think we want to wrap up. I think we'd be remiss if in wrapping up we didn't make a
announcement.
special announcement.
Yeah.
We are building community. That is what Sunday school is. That is what Black Men Smile has been for 10 years. 10
Yeah.
years and some change now. And we've done it in ways very consistently. We've tried new things primarily between our signature events. We've certainly, as Mario rocked one of our shirts, we've used our apparel as a way for building community and spreading our message. But we've been convicted and challenged to broaden our reach, to broaden the ways that we invite people to join us, to shape us, to talk to us, to connect with us. And as a result, we've said yes to that invitation.
Yep.
And we've created something new. And what is that something new, Jeremiah?
We are what's it called? No, just
Oh,
kidding.
man.
We are launching a Patreon, and the goal of the Patreon, if you're not familiar with what Patreon is, it is a platform for us to engage on a more personal level, on a more like we have these lives like with y'all, and I think this is one of the closest ways that we've been able to engage, but we want to do this more regularly. We want to do this in different ways, and we want to offer the same as Mario was talking about, resources, access to things and to people for the things that we need. And so we created a Patreon, patreon.com/blackmensmile, and through the Patreon, we're going to have a private community where we can talk, we can discuss things. We're going to have private talks, lives, but also just like calls, Zoom calls, and with speakers, and it's a lot of things.
It's a lot of things.
A lot of things. I'm not going to go through
behind the scene footage. I got to say some of it.
Yeah.
We're gonna have behind the scene footage. We're gonna
All of
offer
it.
resources and curriculum for different things that we talk about and expound on. But we're gonna go into more depth in the Patreon. We are going to offer exclusive discounts and discount codes to some of our members. We're gonna offer exclusive merch. We are just gonna show more of our faces in our process, and we're going to invite more of your faces and more of your thought into our process.
We want to be
appreciate y'all
collaborative.
for really being a part of this community, and we want to challenge ourselves and say yes to ourselves, to being more available and to the community, and to really build a community, not just with us for sure, but you all among yourselves. We haven't given that space outside of our live events and the things that we do, and we've seen that model work for others, and we want to create that for ourselves. So patreon.com/blackmensmile. It is just minutes old in terms of it being launched. We would love for you all to go to it, check out the welcome page, see what we're doing, join at any level you feel comfortable, and just know that outside of how you've known us most dominantly in the Instagram and social media space, we have so much more to offer. We have so much more that we want to give, and we know that you do too. And we want to build that bridge. We want to connect with you. We want to allow you to connect with us, and we want to be able to offer even more in a way that's more intimate. So patreon.com/blackmensmile. You'll be seeing more of our faces. You'll be seeing us more here. We're going to be going live with the Patreon community and showing before we even come live on these Sunday schools, so much more. But we just appreciate y'all. We're going to wrap it exactly that 1 hour and 30-minute mode. It was 2:30. I'm Carlton Mackey, the creator of Black Men Smile.
I'm Jeremiah Griffin.
Thank y'all, and we'll see you soon. Thank you so much. Peace. That was
Sunday school.
And thank you. I heard you.
I really do appreciate you for hearing me, and even though in the moment, transparently, it doesn't feel like you heard me in the moment of expressing it. But in the action of Sunday school, I saw from beginning to end,
I was like, man,
you making room.
I got the honor,
and